Welcome to the Waterfowl East Podcast, Turkey Edition. We got me, Wesley, here. We got Keaton Black, and we got Ryan DeMerchant. And on the phone, we have got Turkey Terry. Welcome, gentlemen.
Glad to be here.
Yes, thanks for having us.
Boys, what's going on?
Well, just came back from Florida. We killed a couple of big gobblers down there. I killed one probably five and a half years old. Big spurs on him.
Wow.
And so Lisa and I got our first birds in Florida this year down there, and we're looking forward to Maine trip in Ontario and maybe doing some mentoring up in New Brunswick here.
Is that your first Osceola Terrier, or you've been down there before?
I killed one down there before, probably about 7 years ago, but it was hard to find an outfitter and finally connected with one. A really good guy. He went, I think it was 17 hunters in 4 days, and they killed 18 hunters, killed 17 birds.
Wow.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys have both got your Grand Slam, don't you?
I need a Merriam's for my Grand Slam.
Oh, you do?
Yeah,
Okay.
I still need a Merriam's, and I've been invited to BC. BC's turkey population for Merriam's out there is expanding really good, and so I'm looking forward to either getting out there in Montana or somewhere.
Yeah, Montana or BC would be a wicked place to hunt. I've driven through them, and oh man, I would love to hunt there. Yeah. I'd like to move there actually. But yeah, when's the draw results coming out here anyway?
24th?
24th? I don't know.
Yeah, it's a really quick turnaround. I think it's done.
Okay.
I think it's 2 weeks after that closes, isn't it?
Yeah, I think the 24th is out, the results.
Was today the last day, Dan?
Today was the last day, yeah. But hopefully we get a little...
I think we need to get that moved up so that they do that draw in February, and so the guys, they're going to buy new gear and guns and get outfitters and get mentors. I think got more time, a month or two to.
Well, yeah,
I agree. It is.
That's
really
the problem.
quick.
Everybody finds out they get drawn, go and buy a bunch of stuff, and then it's all sold out. And then by the time the season's here and gone, the stores have got more. At least if it was in February, everyone would go buy their stuff. They'd have time to restock and then sell more.
Yeah,
it would be good business.
And even for scouting, a lot of them people, with the draw, they're from away, so they don't even know where they're going. They get a tag, they come down here, show up. Where do I go? What do I do?
I've already got 3 people that want guided.
Yeah.
So they just call and looking up on the website there for outfitters in the area, and I've got 3 people that want guided for turkey already.
Yeah.
Residents.
Well, it's good if they're thinking about that before they're even drawn.
Well, and that's the thing, right? I mean, I'm sure as hell not any professional turkey hunter, but if you got a guy that lives in Bathurst that draws a turkey tag and wants to come turkey hunting, he's never hunted turkeys. Well, I've hunted them a couple times. I got the decoys, and I'm in the area, so
yeah, exactly.
He'd have to drive down a bunch and scout, and I mean, by the time he does that, and he'd do well to even get one, really.
Oh yeah, I know all the fellows that come down the last couple of years that I guided. They treat you very best.
Yep. Yep. So I mean, it's a good, good opportunity for an outfitter.
In all honesty, you got to.
Oh yeah,
a lot of work into it.
Oh, friggin' right, man! A lot of gas burning.
Yeah.
Scouting, right? Like you don't just find one flock of turkeys and be done. It's like anything; you find them all.
Yeah, that's right.
Find them all, and you keep chasing after them.
Yeah, yeah. You want to know where they all are and have a backup plan and a plan C.
Yep. A, B, C, D, the whole friggin' alphabet.
Yeah, that's right.
But no, it's looking good around here. I
really
will
good.
say that. I mean, there's no hiding it for sure. The turkey population here is exploding.
And they had a great winter this year.
Yeah, frig did they ever. Like, that's one thing. I spend a lot of time in the woods in the wintertime, and I don't think I've ever seen a dead turkey once.
No.
Like, you don't see them getting killed around here, like coyotes or anything. Like, knock on wood so far, but...
I don't know if our coyote population's low around here too, but
and they get smart pretty fast when they get when the poults start seeing their brothers and sisters getting eaten by a hawk or a coyote. They get real smart real fast. And that's where them smart hens protect them poults, and that's why you guys have a flourishing population up there.
Yeah, they're good at staying alive, or they certainly seem to be. Like, you don't see even much roadkill or anything really.
No.
Like, I've only heard of a couple.
Well, what is it, Terry? Just on average, 50% of the clutch will survive to its first year. Is that roughly
50% will roughly 50%. I'll give you an example. In Maine last year, I was told there was 70,000 birds in May when they start to hunt.
Mm-hmm.
And after the poult season in June into July, they made an announcement in September that there was 150 to 210,000 birds in Maine.
Oh, wow, that's a lot.
You guys are going to eventually be like Maine because you got even better habitat than Maine has, and even better winters as well. So it's looking real favorable.
Yeah, I know some of the flocks that I saw last year with the poults, huge clutches, like 12, 13, 14 little ones, and it's like, man, you see 8 or 10 of them a day, and that's a lot of turkeys.
Yeah. Well, we were over at Dad's last weekend, and I've seen trail camera pictures like on the hill over the last 5 years of the odd turkey here and there, but that day there was 6 jakes walked across the front lawn, and I thought if there's 6 jakes there that are all from the same kind of clutch, that's half they're doing well. All the hens are somewhere else.
Well, I got a buddy of mine. He's feeding them in his yard just corn dust, like wasted corn dust, and he's got 50 or 60 in his yard every day. Huge toms in there right now, like frig, and they're strutting already. Yeah. So
they've been strutting around home now for almost 3 weeks.
Yeah, you got some around too.
Yeah.
It's friggin' neat to see. They're
the earliest I've ever heard of poults on the East Coast here into the States and Eastern Canada was, I think it was May 12th, 2 years ago during turkey season. There was a hunter down in St. Stephen had seen poults on May 12th.
Yeah. We're definitely going to be later here this year. My word, there's still a shit ton of snow in the woods. Holy frig. There's still 2 to 3 feet of snow in the woods here. It's friggin'.
Well, you can still snowmobile.
Yeah, exactly.
I still got sleds rolling into the camp.
Well, up at the camp, man, you'd have, you'd have what, 4 or 5 feet of snow?
Yeah, there's a lot in the woods.
Like, I mean, right here behind my house, I'm breaking through just my boot sinking in over my knee. And I mean, that's not to the ground. That's just how far my leg is sinking in. It's right to my knees, so.
Well, hopefully that's going to flip a switch next week. It's supposed to be 15, 16 there for a week. So.
I'd like it to rain hot water for a little bit. I'm ready for spring and summer. Get her going.
Yep.
I got bears to feed and hopefully turkeys to kill. That'd be nice.
Yep.
Have you guys been drawn?
No.
You never were,
Nope.
Get to hunt, but just haven't been drawn.
Yeah.
What were you going to say,
the
Terry?
Good thing about the good thing about the wild turkey management plan that NB Wildlife has there right now, it's a 3-year plan, and this is the 3rd year. So I would expect more changes next year going into the year 4 that when they look at it and look at the numbers and go from there.
Our number, we got more tags this year, didn't we? Was it 50 more or
100?
100 more?
I think we're at 550, aren't we?
Yep.
And we started at 450.
Yeah, and they
we're at 550 because we're sending out all the West Nile test kits. They're going out Tuesday to the Department of Natural Resources for all the winners. We'll get a West Nile test kit, and if everybody that harvests the turkey can send that sample in, would appreciate it because that study is going into year 3 for grouse and turkeys in New Brunswick.
For sure.
Yeah, for turkey, I think it's mandatory to send it in, is it not?
I think it is. Yeah, I think they put it as a mandatory, and we've had great success with it.
Yeah. What do you any of you guys have any idea what the success rate is here, first year and second year for
40% the first year, and I think it was 50 the second year.
50% the second year. Wow. I wonder how long before that starts to drop. Do you think it'll drop, or do you think it'll stay?
You'll start seeing some of the lottery part of it going down, and maybe not as many people applying. Then you're going to get the younger generation coming in that want to apply. So it's going to even out, and then it's there's no youth season up there yet. But hopefully, eventually, we'll have a youth season in New Brunswick, but we'll wait and see.
Yeah,
that'd be great.
Hopefully, youth seasons and maybe opportunities for outfitters to guide some non-residents.
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
Definitely, it's one of the things to have is be able to come into New Brunswick and hunt turkeys in the morning and spring bears in the evening, and it's one of the only spots in North America you'd probably be able to do it, and it would be great for the outfitters in the industry.
Yeah, it would be for sure. Absolutely. I had something I was going to say and I forgot. You guys will have to talk.
Do they still have spring bear in Maine?
They never have.
No, they never have.
No.
I don't think they ever have they? No.
Just fall.
No, that I know of it.
There's one area down there that do spring bear hunting in Maine, I heard, but
it's on a
reserve.
Reserve tags.
Yeah.
Brad's actually gone and done that hunt.
Has he?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, it's close for him. Just a short drive up. And he's right there.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember what I was going to say. Do they have for New Brunswick, like, is there an ideal number that we have to hit for population before it's open season on the turkeys, or do you think it will never be open season on them?
No, I don't know if there's a ideal number yet. We're going to be starting a poult count this August, so that's some of the tracking. We're going to be doing the number of poults, jakes, and toms and hens that we count in August, and put all that together and provide it to the government. But eventually you're going to see it wide open to the public for sure.
OTC tag, yeah.
Over the counter tags.
Look at just over the 4 or 5 years that they've really taken hold.
Well, think about 5 years ago. If you saw turkeys, you'd pull over and take pictures. You'd be like, "Holy shit!"
Yeah.
Now you're just driving by, and it's like, "Oh, there's another flock of turkeys."
Or get out of the road.
Yeah, get out of the road. Yeah.
Well, within 5 years, it's gone from you'd see more deer in fields than you would turkeys to now you see way more turkeys.
Way more turkeys and bears.
Yeah.
Freaking bears.
I know they were talking last week that there was turkeys behind the mine site in Bathurst, so they're moving fast.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I think they're pretty near in all of the province. Like my daughter, she lives down in Moncton, and there's quite a few out where she lives. She lives outside of Moncton, and there's a bunch there. So
yeah, once they populate that area, Salisbury to Sussex,
yeah,
I mean their population will grow just like ours. They got a lot of similar private ground and farm ground. And
Moncton's getting closer to Nova Scotia there, Terry.
It is.
That must make you a little bit excited. How far east? Do any of you guys know how far east they've seen turkeys?
I've heard that they had seen some just in the outside of Moncton area, but they may have been farm release birds. I'm not sure.
No, there's definitely wild birds in Moncton, 100%.
Yeah.
Like perfect. They're not farm birds. They're wild, scared shitless, and they look just like an eastern turkey.
Well, actually, that reminded me before I left Moncton, that'd be 6-7 years ago. Yeah. And they were starting to be seen across the province. And I remember a fellow that I worked with, he said, "You'll never guess what I saw the other day out at the end of the Berries Mills Road." It was a wild turkey.
That's close to where Grace lives. Yeah. Almost on that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they'll just keep on moving.
Yeah, and the thing about the wild turkeys is that once a hen gets bred, she might walk 20 or 30 kilometers and lay her clutch of eggs from 10 to 15 eggs. So if they establish, then all of a sudden that population just moved, 20 to 30 kilometers in spring.
Mm-hmm. And if they keep doing that.
So listen, I got a question for you about a turkey hen here, Terry, that I guess I haven't Googled it, so I'm just going to ask you. It might sound stupid. Does a hen lay all her eggs at the same time, or is she like a chicken? Is she like bred every day and has like an egg a day, or how does that work?
That's a good question.
So what I know about turkeys is that she can get bred once and she can walk 20 or 30 kilometers, make her nest, and she'll lay one egg a day for either 10 days or 15 days, 15 eggs, and she'll sit on them then for, I think it's 29 or 30 days, and they'll all hatch the same day.
Huh.
So
that's different.
So she only needs to be bred the one time, and she can lay a clutch of 15, one a day.
Yeah, one a day, and that's vulnerable for the hens, because when she's on that nest, she might lay the eggs and at night go up to roost, and then come down in the morning, go around. She may get bred again, who knows, right? But she'll go and then lay another egg. But then once she starts incubating them, she'll stay on the ground for those 30 days, and then she'll stay on the ground for another up to 10 days with those poults, because they can fly at 10 days old. So at that point, they can get off the ground away from skunks and raccoons and coyotes and bobcats and that.
Yeah, that reminded me actually of one thing that we haven't really talked about here in New Brunswick is, in Maine and a lot of places, you only hunt till noon.
Yeah.
Or it was only hunt till noon because they don't want people tramping around and disturbing the nests in the afternoon when the hen goes to lay.
Yeah.
And,
I've heard that seems to be the general rule in most places.
Yeah.
I heard is that you only hunt till noon.
Yeah.
It is, and they say, once you bump a bird off the nest, she may not come back, and that could be possible. I've seen it before. I've bumped birds before. I've seen turkeys doing funny stuff when you're sitting in the woods and you see this hen coming up, and all of a sudden she's going around the trees, circles, and then all of a sudden she'll she'll lay down. It's like she's got a nest over there, and yeah. So that's the important thing too, because you'll have bearded hens, and they're legal to shoot in most areas, and that hen could be laying in a nest, and if she's got a beard, she is legal, but that's something to think about before you pull the trigger.
Yeah, for sure. So, does anybody have any idea the range on a turkey? Like, I know around here, like, we'll have them right in our backyard, and then they'll disappear for like a month and be who knows where. Like, they seem to really cover a big range.
You think they do, though?
They definitely do here in my yard. I mean, not huge, but they don't, like, compared to like a grouse or something like that basically lives in 1 acre for its whole friggin' life. It seems like you see the same ones in the same place all the time.
From what I've seen, like around here, there's probably about 5 good sized, like 50 bird flocks that I saw all through the fall, and I see them through the winter, and they kind of seem to have their little radius. You'll see them on this road, and then about a mile or so through the woods on another road, you'll see them once they disappear from that.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, I shouldn't say huge range, but they'll be here.
Yeah.
They'll be way down past Jason's, and they'll be out over there by where. We're not going to disclose any places, roads, names, or people, but they'll be out there, and then they'll be over there, and then they'll be here. And...
But the great thing is you don't know. That's where everybody sees them in their big flocks, right?
Yeah.
But come May, they break up. Oh, where'd all the turkeys go? Well, there's 5 that went here. There's 5 that went there. There's 5 that never leave this piece of woods. And
man.
They spread out, and people think, oh, where'd the turkeys go? But it's just you're not seeing the big flocks. Yeah. They split up in the spring.
It's a good time to get a good count. Like I know someone was feeding them here last year, and there was over 100 at once right there being fed. Like, so there'll be how many more this year?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, that's a lot of birds, and that's not all of them. Well, that's just right here in this little area.
If 50 of them are hens and they have 500 poults, I mean, that's
that's a lot of friggin' turkeys.
Yeah, they become a nuisance before you know it.
Yeah.
The thing about the turkeys, in the spring and the summer and the fall. So in the spring and June, when they have them poults, they go do their thing. But in July and August, they get together. They'll get 3 or 4 hens will bring all the poults together, no different than a Merganser duck will, right? And she'll look after 40 or 50, but the hens will be with her, and there'll be 40 or 50 together. They'll stay together right into the fall and into the winter, but they will migrate to an area where there's pine trees or good cover, so that they can be protected from the winter and the wind and the snow and ice. So, and then come the spring, they're going to disperse. So, where if you're watching them now and you're seeing 40, 50 birds, and you think you're going to come back there May 10th and kill a turkey, there's a chance you might not even see one.
Yeah, that's for sure. Around here, what do you guys think? Like, we don't really have a lot of ton of pine. What do you think they're roosting in mostly around here?
I think a lot of it's hardwood.
I see them roosting in hardwood around here, but
and the bigger spruce and fir.
Yeah, because I mean they gotta have enough room to fly up in there. The big bastards. You hear them flying up into the roost or coming down out of there, just beating the shit out of the branches. Just crashing.
Well, I remember one spot I walked into in deer season, and I got in before daylight, and I sat down on a little spot, and all of a sudden I just heard turkeys all around me.
Yeah.
And I looked up, and it was only 8-inch round spruce trees.
Really?
And they were quite tightly together, but there was 25 or 30 turkeys roosted right above my head, and they all flew down. And I thought, jeepers, I thought that would be too tight for them to fly up in and roost in those trees. But
I guess if it's dark, it's it's time to roost wherever they are, I suppose.
Yeah.
They definitely don't want to roost on the ground.
And see, the turkeys, one of their favorite foods for the winter for survival is pine nuts. So you get them pine cones. That's one of their biggest foods for the fall and into the winter. So, and if you can find a pine thicket or a pine grove like that, if you look underneath it, there's not a lot of snow on the ground because the acidity from the trees and the heat from the trees and the sun melts the snow under it. So turkeys got to adapt to that stuff, right? Yeah. I would think that maybe your big cedars as well will be good stands for.
Well, and the big old hemlocks too.
Hemlocks, we do have good stands of hemlock here.
Yeah.
They eat burdocks too.
They eat a lot of burdocks.
It's crazy. Like, I don't think there's anything else on the planet that eats burdocks but a turkey.
There's a flock out on the farm there, and it's been a good hayfield for the past 2, maybe 3 years, but there's been a lot of turkeys there in the last couple of years, and all of a sudden,
are starting to grow.
The burdocks. I went to cut that field I got to it late this summer, and half it was burdock. And I thought, where did all these burdock come from? But then I remembered the turkeys. I said,
well, you'll see them going. They'll have, it looks like they get a friggin' backpack on.
Oh,
them.
yeah.
They'll have a great big ball of burdocks on their back, but they end up just shaking it off, and away they go. But no, they're a friggin', man, they're a resourceful son of a bitch. They eat everything. They're a real hardy bird.
I try to open them up whenever somebody I guide has shot one, and I've even found, like treated corn seed.
Really?
And you think, jeepers, that can't be good. But
I don't think it takes them very long to pick a freshly planted grain field.
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
No,
but the couple that I found, they don't have a gizzard full of treated corn seeds. Almost like they eat a few and maybe.
That's funny. But
realize
it makes you wonder though, like, what makes them look at that and think, is that food?
Yeah. Like, how do they know it's there in the ground under? How do they know it's in the ground?
Yeah, like,
can they smell it?
Like what?
This is also the same bird. You look out and it's pecking your chrome hubcap on your car.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
and then when it comes time to hunt it, it's like the most elusive creature.
I know. It's sitting there fighting a fucking hubcap. And then the next thing you know, you're in the woods and you can't even remotely come close to killing one. You're like, what in the hell?
Yeah.
Like, and yeah, they are funny like that. They'll friggin'.
It's almost like you catch them in their element and you're not supposed to be there.
Yeah.
They know something's wrong.
And their vision is beyond good. Like, that was a real eye opener. I got to go with Matt once last spring, and it was his first turkey license here. I don't think, has he ever, I knew we went with the hoot and shoot with Rowan, but has Matt ever hunted a turkey?
He shot one in Connecticut, I think.
Oh, right. Was he in a blind there or something?
No, I don't think so. They were along the rock walls down there.
Because, man, I'll tell you, like that one there, we were hunting the field, obviously, and they were out in the field, walking along the edge of a field. And the field, as soon as you got to the edge of the field, it dropped right off. And, I mean, it was woods, grass, bushes. Like, he was laying down on his belly.
Yep.
Just barely peeking up over, like, enough to see his gun. And so they would see, like, the barrel of his gun and his eyeballs and, like, his hat.
Yep.
Is all it would have been showing. And they were, like, 30 yards out in the field, 40 yards. And I'll be damned if they didn't see him instantly.
Yeah.
The second they started walking in front of that, right? And it's dark in the woods. He was back in there 10 yards. Yeah. And all of a sudden it just pop, pop,
started popping.
Pop. Yeah. And I'm like, holy frig, they see him.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Yeah. Oh, I couldn't believe it. Like, I couldn't see Matt from 10 yards. And I'd known where he was. And they saw him from 30.
Yeah.
Not knowing. Like, unbelievable, man.
And I think that's why their survival rate is so high, because their hearing and their vision and their sense of danger. They just the old saying goes, "What is a deer sees a human in the woods, a hunter in the woods, and he thinks it's a stump.
Yeah.
When a turkey's in the woods and the turkey sees a stump, he thinks it's a hunter.
Yeah.
So,
oh man,
that's kind of the analogy. I've been hunting them for over 30 years. And if you think you know anything about turkeys, you got a couple more decades to go, because they're the most hardest thing I've ever hunted, the smartest thing. And like I said, I give up moose, deer, bear hunting, fishing salmon, just to turkey hunt if I had to.
Yeah.
So what about hunting them out of blinds, like pop-up blinds? You see guys setting them right in the middle of a field. Like, will they come in on that or what?
Yeah, they'll come in on that. And see, one of the things I've been told, and I'm not sure, I haven't done my research, but I was told they don't see depth perception or something. The blinds don't bother them, and it's not danger to them. So they'll walk right up to them with the decoys there in your calling. And I recommend blinds for new hunters, first time hunters, whatever. And it's an easier challenge on these birds instead of sitting under a tree and waiting. And this way you can move a little bit in there. You can have your tea. The kids can move around a little bit, and it gives them more comfortable. They can have a sleep, and it's just you can move your head around. When you're under a tree and you're there and you're calling a bird and he's coming in, you're not sure where he's at. You can't move. You can't even move your. They just say to move your eyes, right? Don't move your head.
Well, Matt didn't do anything. He didn't even move. Like, this was the second set on him. He had the decoys out and they busted him instantly because he was sitting way too much he was in the woods, but he's just way too open. And I mean, they busted him instantly. The Tom wouldn't come anywhere near him, and then we just got a line of direction on them and said, okay, they're going along the edge of the field this way. So Matt ran a huge loop around the field into the woods and just basically waited for them to walk by. And just walking by, they saw him in the woods, like, but yet to walk right up to a friggin' blind, like, in the middle of a field, it just boggles my mind. But if I get the opportunity to hunt or take somebody, I'm definitely going to try it. I got a whole whack of pop-up blinds, so.
Oh yeah. See, I think blinds are great for that, for new hunters, for kids, for people who maybe can't get around. And the only thing is, it's like you got a one shot. If they don't come down out of the roofs and come to the blind, you need to get
There's
one.
no moving.
There's no moving.
Yeah, you're down.
You can, but it's just...
They'd have to crest a knoll or something like that if you're going to do anything.
If you know, like, you know, if you've got a field where you know there's birds there every single day and nobody else is bothering them, that's perfect.
Yeah, so I don't know if we get the opportunity, I'll try it, but I'm just so skeptical that it will work. It doesn't make sense to me. Like
in Florida, we killed our 2 birds, Lisa and I, this year, and out of a blind, because Florida's really, really thick, and there's just like, they got some trails cut through the palmettos and that sort of thing in the swamps, but it's so thick, and the Osceola birds, they gobble good off the roost, hit the ground, gobble a couple times, and then they go completely quiet. So it's a lot easier to be in a blind than being sitting under a tree and stationary and not moving for 2 hours on end, right?
Yeah, for sure. Man, I'll tell you, I can't wait for those nice, calm May mornings, standing outside early and just hearing goblin firing off all over the place. Oh, frig, that's so awesome.
Something about it, it's just magical.
Yeah, I remember one time out at the camps there, I was there right at the crack of crow's piss, and just get out of the truck, and it's like friggin' gobbles everywhere, all around me. I'm like, holy shit. I just wanted to go hunting so bad, but man, I can't wait. I can't wait for that. Just need a tag.
So much fun.
Yep, just need a tag. So what's your next trip, Terry?
My next trip is I'm looking at Maine, and then potentially Connecticut, and I'm also looking at Ontario.
Well, I was going to say, you only mentioned a couple places there earlier, and that sounds odd for you. That's not very many.
I'm busy at work these days, and CWTF is fired back up, and banquet season is now going to be rolling, and we got a lot on the go. So it's we had a couple of years off from CWTF here with COVID, and now we're back rolling again, and we're looking forward to banquets and seeing everybody and talking turkey. But I'm really looking forward to this spring and doing a little bit more hunting. We killed them down in Florida, and I think it was May 18th opening, or March 18th opening day, and man, it's been some exciting. Just waiting now for the next season to open.
So but you have Maine and Connecticut and Ontario and a few other places. Yep. That's good.
Well, I've probably killed over 100 birds, and you know what? I've never killed one in Canada yet.
Really?
No,
wow.
I've never killed a Canadian bird, and it's been always Maine or Connecticut, Florida, down those southern states. So I may do the Ontario bird this year. I might just do that.
Well, frig, yeah, you should get one in Canada.
Yeah, I was hoping for a New Brunswick tag, but that's not going to happen for a few years.
Yeah, it doesn't look that way.
All you got to do is switch your residency.
Yeah, buy a
little. You know what? I could tell you between the moose lottery and the turkey lottery, I've been thinking about it.
You got the address here. Why not?
Yeah, I got the address there. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. You got all your bases covered. You got all your bases covered there. So you guys.
It's either going to be there or I'm moving to Newfoundland for a woodland caribou tag.
Yeah, man, there's not a lot of caribou tags up there anymore, eh?
There's about 220 non-resident caribou tags, and the prices have gone now. I heard the other day at SCI we're going for $28,500 US, and they were even up to $35,000 US.
Well, Brad's caribou, he's charging $30,000 US for a caribou hunt.
Big money.
Oh, frig, is it ever? I think before COVID, what was it, like 12,000 or so?
They were 12, 13 before COVID. I killed one last year with the bow in Newfoundland, and I killed him at 4 yards with the bow. He wasn't huge, but 19 or 20 points or something. But it was just, I had him at 4 yards, and I had the bow, and I could have killed a big one with the rifle. And I'm like, you know what? I'll take this one here with the bow. That's what I was there to do.
Well, the opportunity to shoot one's fading quick.
Yeah, really fading fast. If you're not going soon, you're not going to get a chance to go.
Yeah, it won't be long, and there's not going to be any caribou tags for non-residents. Is the way it's looking like it's going anyway.
It's So Newfoundland is kind of like New Brunswick with the 3-year deal on their turkeys, and they'll relook at it 3 years. I think the woodland caribou is 3 years as well.
Yeah.
And it's a Fed. I think the feds look at that as a 3-year plan. So I think we're into year 3 now, maybe. So it'll be another new plan coming up, I would think.
Yeah.
Yeah, the federal government stepped into that last year big time. That might have been in northern Quebec. Maybe I heard on the news.
Yep.
I can't remember. I know there's a caribou herd that the federal government was taking over control of it because the provincial government had it must have been Quebec.
I think so.
I think so, yeah.
Oh, yeah, it was.
Yeah.
But I think the Fed's got a say in all the caribou across Canada, right? Because there's woodland caribou in Alberta, but the population's too small to hunt them. The only place in the world you can hunt woodland caribou, and that's Newfoundland, the only spot in the world. And what's driving the woodland caribou hunting in Newfoundland is that if you want the Super Slam 10 or Super Slam 29 big game animals, woodland caribou's on that list.
Exactly, and pretty soon it might not be. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Man, I would like to know what it would cost to do the big Grand Slam, like 28 or 29 animals right now. Because some of them are getting outlandish to shoot, like unbelievable.
Yeah,
like you're not going to see too many people even be able to do it here before too long.
It will be expensive, and the big thing about it is you're not killing them on 29 hunts. Some of them hunts you might have to go 2 or 3 times to kill your animal.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know, man. Yeah. But is the population of them just dropping off? Is that why they're dropping non-resident tags up there?
They closed some of the woodland caribou areas in Newfoundland because of the population declining, and they blamed it on, I think, coyotes and some of it on black bears during the calving grounds, in May and June. Now there's another area in Newfoundland that they increased the tags 2 years ago and gave the outfitters some extra woodland caribou tags because the population increased. So, I think. It's 25 years ago you go to Newfoundland and you buy a moose hunt and they throw a caribou tag in for free. I wouldn't be surprised, maybe, who knows, in 20 years from now that the caribou population could be better than the moose population over there, and who knows, right?
Yeah, could go up. Who knows?
Yep. You don't know, right? And it might have something to do with global warming and what they're eating and how far they're migrating. So, because the caribou in Newfoundland migrate from region to region, but they stay on the island, basically.
Yeah, exactly. Ryan, you got any plans for turkey at all this spring or no?
Well, I've got a couple options, but...
I know you have in the past.
Yeah, I've thought about going back to Maine. I've got the chance to go back to New Jersey, and I've got actually a chance to go to Ontario.
Just a matter of fitting that in around bear season.
Matter of fitting that in. I don't know how that's going to go. I've got a big change coming up. I'm going part-time in my position at work, and I'm going into the outfitting business full-time. So
nice.
Trying to make that go with the spring and the fall, and I don't know how much turkey hunting I'll get in other than the local one here. I'd like to get back down to Maine.
When is their season? Like, when would you be able to go there?
May 1st.
May 1st,
yeah.
Now, New Jersey would be my best option because their first week is like April 20th.
Yeah.
Around there.
Yeah.
Would fit a little better. But
so when's your first group of bear hunters in?
May 7th.
May 7th. Oh, frig, that's early.
Yeah, so
you might be lugging them out in the snow.
May 7th. Well, I'll be
up
hunting
in the camp.
I'll be hunting the lower ground. I won't be hunting.
Yeah, for sure.
Lodge. So yeah, the turkey season's gonna be a puzzle this year for me.
Oh, I wondered that. Yeah, May 7th. Yeah, that's early. I don't have my first group till May 15th.
Yeah,
which here isn't that bad.
Yeah,
usually
we're May 27th up north for our first.
Oh yeah, well you guys would have friggin' 4 or 5 feet of snow, probably. Yeah, at the end of May.
5 feet of snow in there now. One of the guides said we should go in and bait early this year, bait in the middle of April with snowmobiles. I'm like, that's a great idea, but I'm not going in. And, if we got trying to lug them barrels in and all that work you got to do, it's too much with that much snow, right?
It is. It's a lot of work.
Extra work. Yep.
A ton of work. Yep. But the bears are out. We're starting to see them around out here.
Good.
So not a lot or anything, but they're out and about. So they're poking around anyway. I know one local outfitter here. He starts, what's the first day? April 15th?
Yeah.
Yeah, he starts April 15th. He's got hunters in. Like they'll be going out in the snow. But
you usually start baiting right 15th, don't you?
Yeah, I mean the
Usually
baits I
that's
can
when you
get into.
get
Yeah,
into the woods. Yeah.
like I don't use a snowmobile. As soon as I can get in with a 4-wheeler, that's when I go. So I can get in if there's a footish of snow.
We're behind right now though.
Oh, big time,
Big
man.
time. So
It's funny, we haven't had a lot of snow, but it's just
well, we haven't had no melting weather, right?
nothing's melted. Yeah.
It's supposed to go down to minus 18 here tonight.
Yeah,
Is it really?
Yeah.
I haven't looked.
So,
it's been a really cold early spring. Like,
yeah.
and I said it when we had no snow in December, hardly any in January. I'm like, we are going to get hammered on the tail end.
Yeah, that's right.
And that's exactly what's happening. And here we are, friggin' first week April's done, and we are still right here, 2 or 3 feet of snow. Yeah. And it gets worse the farther north you go.
Yeah, I was looking, on my Facebook there, the memories popped up or whatever, and I was shooting my bow out in my yard 2 years ago, and there wasn't a lick of snow in my yard.
Yeah.
And now there's 3 feet in my yard, so.
Frig, I know.
She got some time she got to catch up here soon.
Yeah, it does. It's going to be.
If we get that 15 to 18 degree weather for a week, it'll
make a difference.
Yeah.
But we need rain.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. We need rain to melt the snow that's in the woods.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, right now, there's still, all the fields are covered in snow still. Like, it's insane. Like,
Well, they started to drop a lot until we got that storm there the last day of March, and then that freezing rain the other day.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's a lot of crust layers, which are, they melt slow. They they protect the snow, but, oh well, it is what it is. Welcome to New Brunswick.
That's right.
Life in New Brunswick. But, no. Spring's right around the corner, though. It won't be long.
Yep.
The turkeys will be gobbling whether there's snow or not.
Yeah, exactly. I can't wait to hear them.
A goblin now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you heard some?
Yeah.
I haven't. I've seen them strutting and stuff, but I haven't seen it. I haven't heard any gobbles yet. But
I got a video the other day from St. Stephen. A guy sent me a video of the Tom breeding a hen.
I wouldn't doubt it down there. See, you go to southern New Brunswick, St. John, there's not a lick of snow down there. None.
No.
Not a friggin' bit. It's extremely different. So St. Stephen would be the same. Are the tag numbers still the same in St. Stephen zone?
Are they 150 this year?
Because I know down there they have a crazy amount of turkeys, but the damn things are all in town.
Oh, yeah.
Or most of them are.
Yeah, and they're all on.
Like, I don't think they're killing a lot of birds down there because they're all right in friggin' town.
And I think they're having trouble getting permission on some ground down there.
Yeah,
for any of the other ones.
Even the ones that are out of town, they're not getting permission on them. So.
Right. You know, I wonder if there's. I don't know a lot of fellas from down Harvey Way, but they don't have a lot of fields. I wonder if there's more birds. Because you'd think there'd be more birds between us and St. Stephen, but that's all woods. I bet you there's a lot of woods out there, and there's probably full of turkeys nobody knows about.
Wooded turkeys, you just wouldn't know because you're just not there.
You're not seeing them.
Even if you just drove the road down there before dark, stopped 8 or 10 times, and just tried to get a response, you'd probably fire somehow.
Yeah, I bet you would.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me because that's the thing. Like, they don't need to be around rural neighborhoods and shit. So,
well, you take Maine. I mean, everywhere I've been in Maine, you know, the southern part of it, there's no big fields. You don't spot them. You're
small farmland, like hayfield.
Back corner of a piece of woods, and there's a logging road, and you go halfway down and make a hoot, and there's their little roost, and they don't leave that block of woods.
Yeah, it's neat.
So what's the plans for the banquets this year, Terry, and all that stuff? Get that back going.
Well, yeah, see, when COVID hit in March 2020, we had 2 banquets. We had one in Bedford, one in Amherstburg, Ontario. They were both record-setting banquets, and we just said, you know what, this is our year to grow and get on top of everything. COVID hit, we shut everything down, laid everybody off. We just started 2 weeks ago, rolling back in and getting things going, talking to sponsors, talking to chapters. So we got some banquets booked. We just booked the St. John River chapter there. They're talking September 18th for a banquet in St. John. We're talking to the guys in St. Stephen for their banquet. I sent Keaton a message up there to you. We got Fredericton just opened a new chapter.
Yeah, you mentioned that.
Yeah, Eric Morgan. He's going to be the guy that's going to run our banquets across Atlantic Canada and help us out.
That name rings a bell.
Yeah. He used to be with DU.
He used to be with DU, didn't he? Yeah.
Yeah.
I know him.
Yeah, so he's helping us out, and he booked August 18th for a banquet, and we're looking at talking to the Sussex guys and the guys up in Restigouche County up in Campbellton. They're looking in early September. So we could have 7 or 8 banquets here in New Brunswick this year, and a couple in Nova Scotia and a couple up in Ontario. So we're really looking forward to it, getting the kids out there and giving away a bunch of guns and prizes and talking turkey with everybody. And one of the big things, we want to get our other events going, our hoot and shoots and calling competitions going and turkey seminars. We want to get all that stuff rolling. So we're really excited for this year and going into next year.
For sure. You've been thinking about our chapter at all, Keaton?
I have been. I'm under strict orders to keep my mind off of anything other than renovating for the last
are you guys
2 months.
Renovating the farmhouse, are you?
We're almost there, so.
Please, no September banquets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I was thinking, like we talked about the last time, April.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be
March,
nice
April would be
ideal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's
March,
a perfect
April,
time to do it because everybody's fired up about it, right?
Well, that's when the farmers are I'm not going to say not busy, but
not crazy.
It's a good time of
crazy,
year.
yeah.
Bear hunters aren't guiding, or
yeah.
it's before turkey season. Farmers are not right straight out.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, they're looking at equipment and stuff for sure, but they're not working the ground and working 7 days a week.
Yeah.
You must be looking forward to 7 days a week here coming up.
Can't wait.
Surely.
I like it though because I'm small enough that turkey season's a lot of fun. I go out turkey hunt in the morning, go to work around 10, 11 o'clock, and then go scout before dark. And
Yeah.
it's a busy 2 weeks, but it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it is for sure. No, that's good.
Are you guys looking at holding your barbecue again this year, Keaton, during the season?
Yeah,
Or after the season?
we haven't talked about it yet, but I think we're planning on doing something like that
Yeah,
again.
about time to fire up the old group message again.
Yeah,
Start talking
get a meeting
about it.
going. Steve, Margus and I were talking about that the other day when he was out.
Yeah, it's a good turnout.
Yeah,
Maybe we could do it at my camps. That way we don't have to worry about people getting stuck.
yeah, that's right. Well, the one we had last year at the hall was good.
Yeah, that was good. I never made it to that one.
No, you didn't make it. Yeah,
What the
no,
hell
that's
was I
right.
doing there?
You were.
Couldn't make
You
it
were
for some
somewhere.
reason. Yeah.
You were in Halifax.
Oh, was I?
Yeah, it was through the week. Oh no, you're talking about the meat,
Yeah.
The
barbecue. Yeah, I never went to that.
because we had it at your camp.
Yeah.
That was mud fest.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't remember what was
interesting getting
going
out.
on.
I can't remember. But I don't know. We raised some money last
Yep,
year. and
for sure.
Your
good
camps
turnout.
would be a little more central.
It'd be a good central location.
Yeah, that's
Be
quite a yank down there
Oh, yeah.
to that community center.
Yeah. No, that's the perfect spot. Your camps actually.
Yeah, we can definitely do it there if you want.
Yeah.
Be
You hear
great.
turkeys right from the yard.
Man,
What day when you look at that, right? The last Saturday of the season, the last Sunday of the season?
Yeah, I think
Or in the-
I think we
in
did
the
the
middle?
last Saturday because it really if hopefully everybody's got one by then,
yeah.
but Saturday morning if you were still out you'd be hunting and maybe you wouldn't be hunting in the afternoon. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. But no, that'd be a good spot to do it.
Yep.
We'll have to talk about it.
I'd like to get that raffle finished up.
Yeah.
Yeah, all that stuff kind
Yeah.
of died, eh?
Yeah, it'd be nice to get those decoys and calls and the gun in somebody's hands before the turkey season starts. We got a month.
Well, start
Yep.
advertising it.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. That's lots of time.
Oh yeah.
Definitely have to do that.
I can let you know that that MD turkey hunting Facebook page, it's got a lot of activity on it now. It's a lot of people liking photos and commenting. It's really growing.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's got quite a few members on it now.
that's true.
Yep.
There's some
Yeah.
big turkey hunters here around here, like guys like Waylon Brown. Like he's turkey hunted for years. Him and his dad, they go every year
Yep.
down like Virginia or somewhere. So there was a small population of them now. Now that we have our own season, a lot more people have gotten interested in it,
Yeah, that's right.
which is good. Should grow.
Well, once people try it, they realize how much fun it is.
I know I like it. It's kind of like a combination of waterfowl hunting and deer hunting. Like you can call to them and
Yep.
they come to you. Like I don't know.
It's interactive. You're not.
Yeah, it's an interactive hunt, which I really like.
It's like deer hunting. You're in the woods. You're looking for them. You're
You're in the woods. They're cagey
working
like
for
a
it.
deer.
But it's like waterfowl. You don't have to be.
Dead silent.
Yeah.
And just sit there.
It's funny. It's funny how they classify them as a big game animal.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
that's probably my one issue with it.
Yeah,
because they're not even on the big game. Like in Maine now, you just buy your small game license and you can get your
to me, if you took it off the big game species, then
youth,
without doing a whole lot of thinking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you haven't got to plan a whole lot. Like, you just have to remove that off there. And then, but I heard there's changes coming to the Big Game Act too.
Yes, I have it under good word that there's a lot of big changes coming.
So maybe that's not going to be an issue.
No, we had Mike Holland on the podcast there a couple weeks ago. So
yeah,
I think we just dropped that podcast today. So give it a listen. He spit lots of good information out.
Yeah. He's the right guy for that job.
Definitely is. And it's like Matt and I have said, like, if there was ever a time that hunters wanted to get something accomplished in government with the rules or whatever, now is the time to do it.
Yep.
Because
100%.
you will never have somebody as willing to work with the hunters and the people as that guy right there. Like,
you've got an outdoorsman representing that department.
Yeah. Well, frig man, we talked about back at the Moncton Sportsman Show back in Turkey, not me, but you and Mike Holland got that
the very beginning,
first chapter, or Canadian Wild Turkey Federation type thing started.
Yeah, I remember the day we had that meeting, Terry. My cousin Ben and I, we went in and you and Mike were there, and it was the NWTF then, and got that chapter. That was a strong chapter, and then things started rolling after that.
Yeah, you guys had that booth at the Moncton Sportsman Show.
Yeah, that's the first time. The first time I met Mike Holland was outside of Better Buy Sports, and he was talking about turkeys, and I went over and I said, "Oh, what's going on?" And he told me that they were talking about getting a turkey season going, and the NWTF chapter, and told me to come out to the event. And I never thought, after all that he got in and we got a turkey season,
and it worked out pretty good because some of the guys from Ontario who had been hunting turkeys, got to come down, and they were ripping on the calls there. Cause we couldn't really call great,
no.
And then some of them they could really call well, so they were taking the pot calls and box calls, and even the diaphragm calls, and just letting her fly on them. It was good.
Yeah. That show we were all down there. That was a good show.
Yep, got some good pictures from that show too.
Yeah.
Oh, it was a good time at the hotel afterwards. Holy shit.
Yeah.
I remember that. But now it's come a long ways, because how many years ago would that have been?
Oh, that would have been.
Turkey, the CWTF is 9 years old last month.
I was going to say it must be close to 10 years.
Yeah, I think that was my first 9 year working down there out of college.
Whatever got you into that, Keaton? Like, because you've been into turkeys, like, and you never really hunted them, I don't think. You've always...
It's like I said, it was the day that I was walking into Better Buy Sports, and Mike was outside talking about turkeys.
That's right when you got your interest.
Began. Okay, I mean, when I was a kid, I used to watch turkey hunting on TV, and I thought it was pretty cool. And Dad raised turkeys when I was a kid, and I used to walk out the back porch and yell Tommy, and they'd all start gobbling.
Yeah.
So I just kind of, I don't know.
I always used to watch the shows and stuff, but it never really... I mean, I watched it, but it never really piqued my interest like that.
Must be something in my subconscious from when I was a kid, and they were all gone in the backyard and watched them. I don't really remember it a lot, but
everybody's got their thing though, right? Like for you, like you like turkey hunting. Terry, obviously, he's turkey brain, and for Ryan and I, it's definitely waterfowl.
Yep.
And I mean, I like upland too, because I got the dog I hunt. So everybody's got their thing that they really prefer and gravitate towards, and
that's right.
That seems to be what you're...
For me, I like the timing of it, because I'm busy all the time, and it's just, it's 2 weeks in the spring, and you can put your effort into it. And
it's just such a fun hunt.
Oh, it is.
I know Matt really enjoyed his season last year. Like, that was his first time really going at it, hunting for himself, and he had a hell of a time. Learned a lot.
Yep.
What you find with turkey hunters is it's more of a camaraderie, like the guys that get together and the kids and the families. And I'll give you an example. If you got 160, 170 class buck on your property, on your farm, you don't tell anybody. You don't even tell your father. You don't tell your wife. You don't tell anybody, right?
No, not until it's laying on the back of your truck.
Exactly. But if you got a flock of 30 or 40 turkeys in your backyard, you kill a tom, you're on the phone, you're calling your buddies, you take the kids over, take your wife over. They got a turkey tag. Come on over. I got all kinds of turkeys on my land. I'll help them and show them. It's a whole different philosophy, a way of hunting.
Yeah.
And it's that's what got me into it. And it's the people, and you're dealing with people, and it's a really positive sport. It's not, there's not no competition in it if you want to help others, and it's just great.
Yeah. I noticed that with the Southern guys, man, it is huge with them. Like, they're just completely ate right up with turkey hunting in the spring. They friggin' love it. And just,
I talked to a guy. Yeah, I talked to a guy yesterday in Ontario, and there's 2 of them, and they're going for their World Slam this year. And he was talking 8 trips going to be to the States, basically, and down to the Yucatan Peninsula. Yep.
So how many turkeys are in the World Slam? I know like the North American or American Slam or whatever, but
there's the oscillated.
The oscillated and the ghouls you got to add to them. And the ghouls, they're going down with Jason's his name. They're going to Mexico to kill the ghouls.
Mexico.
Turkey.
So is it Mexico, U.S., and Canada where you can kill turkeys? I don't really know. I guess do they have them in South America or Europe anywhere?
I've been told, and they got them in overseas, not Australia, but the next country next to them. New Zealand has turkeys, and I think it's 5 a day you can kill. And they said, I forget how they put it, but the turkeys will roost on the fence posts or the fences, and you'll go there. There'll be 500 in one flock.
Wow!
Wow. Yeah. So they introduced them there years and years ago, and they've taken off. And it's a lot of people go to Hawaii. They go to Hawaii in March to hunt them. And
really?
It's they got tremendous turkey hunting.
What flavor of turkey do they have over there?
I think it's Easterns based on the pictures I seen. There was a guy I know from Massachusetts was just down there, and they kill turkeys, and they do a lot of wild boar hunting in Hawaii as well. But there's a lot of guys going to Hawaii for winter holiday and dropping a turkey.
Yep, that's neat. I didn't even know they had turkeys there. I had no idea.
Sounds like an extra nice little activity to put on a honeymoon.
Oh, are you getting married, Keaton?
I should, yeah.
You should, yeah. I know I've done that once, so I'm good to go.
Yeah.
For me, it would just be a trip.
It's funny, Terry was just talking about turkeys in New Zealand. That's something we talked about.
Going to New Zealand?
Red stag hunt.
Yeah, that would be neat.
In New Zealand would be cool.
Hearing one of those things roar at you.
Yeah. So red stag and turkey, that'd be an awesome combo.
Yeah.
Wrong time of year, probably.
Who would know?
I think they're hunting red stag over there now. I've seen somebody hunting
they
them
are.
the other day.
It started the last 2 weeks.
Huh.
Yeah.
Is our seasons backwards? Is it fall in Australia right now?
Yeah,
the southern hemisphere is in going into fall.
Yeah. The guy I was sitting with at the SCI banquet, he bought the Argentina stag hunt.
What did he pay for that?
I think 41.
That's not bad. Holy shit.
He's pretty excited. He came there just for the hunt.
Really?
Yeah, so I'm glad he got it.
Yeah. So were you just sitting with a bunch of random strangers?
Yeah, just random. Me and Allison were there. We drank a few beer and met a few people.
Yeah. We were at the Rumpled Grouse Society dinner.
Oh, yeah. That was a good dinner, I heard.
Yeah. Mike was there and put on a speech. Talked about stuff. No, it was good.
Yeah, Minister Holland said he's going to attend as many CWTF banquets this year as he can, so we're looking forward to having him at one.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me one bit. He's active in the hunting community.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
absolutely. Good voice for us.
Oh, he's the best. Mike's the best.
Yeah. Boys, you guys got anything to add?
I want a turkey tag.
No,
I know, me too.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you that after 20 years, and we finally got the turkey season announced in New Brunswick 2 years ago, and Lisa and I were pumped up to go up to be mentoring new hunters and just being around it and part of it and just driving the roads. And COVID locked us down. COVID, we weren't allowed to cross the border.
Yeah.
It was one of the most, we'll say, depressing things I ever went through. Oh, it was terrible. It was after 20 years of fighting for this season and volunteering and it's we set this goal and finally we're going to get this. All I can tell you, the day the Minister Holland called me and told me we got the season coming, Yeah, there was some silence in my vehicle and silence on the other end of the phone.
I imagine there was.
I can let you know that after thousands of volunteer hours, to hear that on the other end of the phone was incredible. So
well, it's friggin' crazy, man, to have a new species and hunt to happen. Like, typically hunts are going away.
So are you coming up this spring, Terry?
I'm going to try to get up. I'm going to be in Maine, I think, around the 12th or 14th, and then you guys open up that day. But if I don't get up for the first couple of days, I'll get up for the second week for a few days, and I'd like to hook up with you guys and
for sure.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Who you going with in Maine?
I'll be going down with Jim Westcott and those guys. We do a black powder, a Parker hunt, and there's 6 of us, and we use the guns that are like 1881. They're old.
The old black powder double barrels.
I like that.
Yeah, the old side by side. So last year was the first time I got out in 3 years turkey hunting, and I'll be honest, I was using that Parker and I practiced before I went with it. And man, I had 2 birds, probably 22, 23 yards. Within 45 minutes, I cleanly missed both of them. And you want to talk about something disheartening?
I imagine.
So the next one I killed, he was at like 3 feet from the barrel. So
just about ripped him in half.
Yeah, I made sure I wasn't going to miss him.
That's good. So is there anything coming up new or that we know of for turkeys? Anything like that around here?
Nothing that I know of right now. You know, you got the new product. I don't know if you guys seen the Mr. Fox, the vest down in the States. They launched that, and it's been a massive hit down there. And a new turkey vest. It's great for the industry and a lot of talk. And there's new product out there, new ammunition. You got a lot of guys shooting the TSS now, and new chokes. And it's just the whole industry is evolving. And in Canada, we're just the tip of the iceberg with the turkeys. And
we're just getting started.
Yeah, that's right.
Really? The CWTF, we hope to have 50 chapters and 10,000 members. And, that's going to give us more money to put back into the kids programs and the youth and habitat and conservation and studies, right? We want to start doing a pulse study this year in New Brunswick and know how many birds we got and know what the habitat is. And we want to document exactly where they are in the province so that we can go to the ministry and say, hey, this is what we've found, right? So we want to support the government and support them so they don't have to put the money into it. And we'll put the money into it from our banquets and from habitat funds.
Yeah, and then they'll be able to more accurately assess the population and tag situation and stuff like that.
Exactly. We want to be able to say, yeah, you can go buy your turkey tag, at the local hunting shop and go buy, And when you can do that, you're going to see a lot more hunters involved and getting involved and spending more money and just you're buying more coffee at Tim Hortons. You're buying lunch. It's more gas. And it's great for the economy.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It'll turn into a huge thing.
Here
in another 5 years, I'd say. Once everybody can do it, it'll be. Because the average person here can't access a turkey hunt easily. You'd have to go clear to Quebec or Ontario or down to.
If the turkey population does in the next 5 years what it's done in the last 5 years, holy crap!
I think you're going to see for sure another 3-year rotation from the government with draw.
Oh
yeah. I think
at
so.
least.
Yeah.
What's our population at now? Do you think, Terry?
You know what we said 7 or 8 years ago was 8,000 to 10,000 birds is what we figured.
Right.
But I think with what I've seen and what I've heard and the data coming back, I think you're well above 10, probably closing in between 10 and 15,000. But you got a lot of them in that southern part of the province and up towards where you guys are. They're starting to spread out, right?
Yeah.
And so sooner or later, all of a sudden, you're going to have birds all over the province, and people are start doing counts then, and then you're saying we might have 15 or 16,000 birds, right? And that makes a big difference.
Well, I know me personally in the we'll say 10-mile radius that I travel daily, I know where there's probably close to 1,000 turkeys.
Oh yeah.
Just that I know for sure are there.
Yeah.
In a 10 or 15-mile radius.
Yeah, I've seen a pile out in the woods 20, 30, 40 kilometers out moose hunting.
Yep.
If you drive down the road, you're getting ready to hunt moose on. There's a flock of 30 running down the road in front of you.
Yeah.
How long? Because I know we talked about this before, Terry. Because Jim and Rob, they're great guys, and they've been great for the CWTF. they were around when the first turkey hunt happened in Maine. They were part of that. How long did it take Maine to get to 20, 30,000 birds, Terry? Do you know?
I don't know the exact length of time, but I do know that Jim was one of the first to introduce turkeys to Maine, and then he was one of the first on the first turkey hunt. I think they killed 5 birds the first year.
Yep.
But then they went to however the lottery was, and then it went to like on your date of your birth, every opposite, to even then odd. You could hunt the next week or whatever.
Yep.
And then they opened it up to 2 tags, and then it was, in the spring and one then the open fall season, and now fall. You can kill 7 birds in Maine now, 2 in the spring and 5 in the fall.
Right.
And I don't know if there's anywhere in North America you can kill that many birds. But
I don't know. But
that's the other thing.
I'd like to do that hunt you told me about with the dogs in the fall.
Yeah. You need to go to Maine in the fall, and you're right across the border there. You guys go in and you find a flock, and you get the dogs to bust them up and sit back and kiki call them in. First time I ever did it, I was like, it's just like going fishing mackerel. I'm not going to care for this, right? And it's like, it was some exciting hearing them all coming and grouping back together. It was really fun. It was a really fun fall hunt.
Yeah, and Maine's so easy. Like, you don't need a guide. All the hunt apps work over there, so you know where private and public is.
Yep.
Like you just need Onyx.
Yeah, you have
all the landowner information.
As long as you have a little foresight ahead, so you can do your shotgun deal at the border with.
Yep. And that's
ATF.
really easy.
Yeah, and that's super simple. It's.
Well, Corey Taylor and I, he, what was it, the year or 2 years before COVID, we would go over in the spring and just over even in Holton and go south of Holton, and we got on birds pretty well every day we went.
Yeah.
Were they harder to hunt there, do you figure?
They were a lot harder than what I was used to hunting in southern Maine, just because they're just different habitat and they're so sparse compared to, southern Maine is thick.
Yeah, because I know here the first year you were folding them like a friggin' lawn chair. Holy shit.
Well, that first year here, I think I said that in the group chat. We've got to get that going again for this season. But I think like it was just so much excitement. But I felt like I was back in Maine. It felt like a whole different.
Man, you got a lot of people that first year. Holy crap.
But it was
a lot of birds.
It felt like I was back in Maine, which, I knew there was a lot of turkeys here, but when you're in it, you're in it.
Yeah.
It's different when you're carrying a shotgun or guiding someone. Yeah. And then you're really in it.
And you're scouting and every day. And I said, this is just like Maine. It's, I'm traveling the same kind of radius I would down there when we're doing the hoot and shoot. Yeah. And I'm seeing just as many birds.
It's just one of the best. It's one of the best times of the year too. It's kind of like early fall. It just, man, it's so nice in the mornings and it's cool and calm and birds firing off everywhere. You're like, oh shit. Yeah.
It's it's an exciting time to be in the woods.
It is, yeah. It reminds you of early fall, like when regular hunting season's just starting to open up, man. The mornings are cool and crisp.
Well, them little songbirds first thing in the morning.
Cheeseburger birds there.
Cheeseburger birds, yeah.
Oh, frig.
And even the bugs aren't bad.
Yeah, exactly. The bugs aren't that bad.
That was the other thing that the guys in Maine told me about when it starts to warm up. The first bug that usually shows up are spiders. And turkeys, they eat a lot of spiders as soon as things start to green up.
Doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything they don't eat. Yeah, ticks. We're pretty fortunate to not have many here.
Yeah.
Although I did ask last time I had the dog to the vet, I asked them what the percentage of ticks here have Lyme disease. 50%.
50, yeah.
Ugh, that's not good.
That's high.
Well,
that's real high.
Rob that's down there, he'd had it before, and he gave us all the rundown on it. There's only that one, the deer tick.
Deer tick, yeah.
But now even, when you're turkey hunting here, I check myself every time because you're sitting on the ground.
Yeah.
And you're not allowed to use permethrin here, so.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Not allowed.
Not allowed.
Can't buy it.
Yeah. You can't buy it here.
That's right.
We are next to Maine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just saying.
That stuff works good.
It does work good, yeah.
Yeah, because I've tried to buy a shirt from Sitka there with it in it.
Oh yeah.
And he's like, oh yeah, we can't ship that to Canada. No. Oh, all right. How about Maine? We can do that. Yeah. Excellent. Because they got a whole lineup of turkey clothing here now and stuff. So
yeah.
What is it? What is the date on our season this year?
Is it the 7th or the 10th?
9th?
No, like the 12th.
I think
12th?
the 10th.
10th.
10th to 24th or something like
Yeah,
that.
I thought it was like
It's
May
2 weeks.
9th.
Yeah. And that's the other thing that this 3-year plan when it's up, that's what they're definitely going to be looking at. Yeah, it's going to be on the 8th to the 20th. So, that could be something in the future for an extended season or more tags.
Well, I know last year personally, I thought it was a little late.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Maine starts May 1st.
Yeah.
May 1st would be a good time to start it.
Yeah.
I think that would be one thing they should definitely look at is the date. Because I agree, they were getting hard to kill.
Yeah, they were henned up pretty hard.
They were henned up hard, and then by the second week,
Oh yeah.
I mean, it was real hard.
I don't know.
At the end of the week, though, they were starting to move on.
Yeah.
But right in between there, geez, that was a real rough time. I know a lot of people really struggled to get any attention. So.
Well, I mean, they got educated quick the first week.
Yeah.
To the second week. I mean. And I think our population's growing so fast that they're not learning as much as they would if we had a stable population.
You got to be an adaptive hunter too, right?
Oh,
if you're hunting one flock and you shoot 3 birds out of it, well,
leave them alone.
Yeah,
move on.
go find some more.
Yeah.
There's a lot of places.
Hey, you guys.
No, go ahead, Terry.
Sorry. You guys do a lot of goose hunting and duck hunting in the fall, and so you guys seeing turkeys when you're set up for ducks and geese
all the time. Maybe not while we're hunting, but
while we're hunting.
Scouting, definitely see them.
Yeah.
Sometimes these flocks of turkeys get reported as geese.
Yeah, exactly. You set up in the morning, all of a sudden the turkeys are coming out of the road. And
Hey, load up, boys, they'll eat.
Yeah.
Oh, frig. No,
I've seen that before.
We are seeing them, but not actually during a hunt yet.
No.
They're a little bit smarter. Maybe they wouldn't walk out with all that commotion going on.
We'll see what, if the turkey's in the field and you guys are hunting ducks and geese and you guys start, a wheel of geese comes in, you shoot at them. Those turkeys, they're recognizing that shooting, right? And off they go. They're learning fast, right? So they're learning in the spring, but they're learning in the fall too.
They're only going to get harder to kill.
Yeah.
Well,
from the first day.
That's the thing.
Season.
And you can tell in certain areas you go, like you pull into a field and there's a couple toms out there and they're not long putting feet on the ground and going.
Yeah.
Even driving by a field, if they're not, if there's, say it's a 50-acre field and they're like out by the road and you pull onto that road and start driving along, when you get close to them, they're already heading to the tree line.
Yeah, they're already starting to walk away.
Just because you're driving by.
Yeah, and they're already starting to walk away. It's funny. They don't run off. They don't look or anything.
No.
Just all of a sudden the flock's just walking this way.
Yeah, and you can see all the bodies and all the heads pointed in one direction and a couple looking back.
Yeah, they're going.
I'm sure a few of them have had the Carleton County treatment. The window roll down, the rifle go out.
I know the ones around here have been well hammered. Like they're going to be, these ones here are going to be hard birds to kill.
Yeah. Which I like that. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. I hunted them in Tennessee and West Virginia down there. And we were driving by all these beautiful fields, just like up in New Brunswick. There's lush green fields. I'm like, where's all the turkeys? You got all kinds. He said, you won't see any in the fields. I'm like, well, it's prime time. We're hunting turkeys. He said, you won't see any because they used to hunt them with rifles down there.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And the turkeys adapted that you did not get caught in the field during turkey season, the turkey, right? And when you're actually were in the woods hunting them, and if you busted a turkey or he seen you, they didn't run. They automatically flew.
Wow.
Really?
So if you busted a turkey, he seen you, he came in and you moved, he flew. There was no instantaneous. There was no running. And I'm like, I went back to my buddy's place and said, man, these turkeys are skittish. He said, as soon as they see you or something happens, they fly. He said, no, that's the way they are.
Yeah.
Jeez.
This will be like here. I mean, we have big bucks, but you never see them in fields.
No.
And we've got turkey population, but
they're gonna get wise quick. Yeah, they'll learn real quick.
Yeah. But they're a lot more.
And that was
it's a lot more fun hunting an educated bird.
Oh yeah.
I mean, the challenge of trying to figure them out, and they're all a little different. And
yeah. I mean, Lori and I's hunts were fun. I mean, you guys saw the video. They literally just walk in, one ran in. All right.
Yeah.
I'm a pro turkey hunter.
And they learned quick. Just one hunter last year, we went out and, when they showed up, I said I'd help them. They had blue jeans, and I was asked, do you have camo pants? Have you got gloves? Take your sunglasses off, put on camo hat.
Yeah.
But they don't know, right? A lot of people don't know. Anyway, we went in and set up. I called a turkey in, shot, missed, and but he was right there. I mean, he was so close. He missed because it was too close.
Yeah.
Shot right over his head, and he thought, "Holy frig, that was amazing. That was a lot of fun. I didn't know it was going to be like that." And like they thought we were done. I said, "No, I think we can get another crack at him because I know that field. I know the way he's going, and he went that way. It's getting on to evening. He's going to be headed to the roost."
Yeah.
So we did a great big long sneak out around, and we set up, and it probably took us half an hour, 45 minutes to get in there and get set up. And I let one call out and waited, and then I heard him gobble once, and he never gobbled again. I've just been shot at, but you're way over here, and there's no way. It can't be the same.
Yeah.
It's not happening again. So he gobbled once, and he came in so spooky that second time. You could see every step he took.
He was looking.
His head would go left, his head would go right. He'd take a step, he'd duck down, and it took him a half an hour to get across 50 yards of a corner of the field to get to the woods. And he came in and he shot him, missed again, and that was the end of it.
Oh, boy.
That's frustrating.
But it was fun. I had a ball.
Something I did learn, I've learned it the hard way myself when I was in New Jersey, but I tell anyone, first time they go to shoot a turkey, don't aim at that head.
Yeah.
Put that shotgun bead right on those two balls at the bottom of the neck.
Yep.
And that's what you shoot at. Most times you're going to clean the head when you aim there anyway.
Yeah, that's right.
I'd rather spit pellets and not get one.
Well, a lot of shotguns shoot high.
They shoot
like a Benelli.
They always aim for the head. Yeah, you're right. Just shoot at the base of the neck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like give yourself a chance.
Yeah.
If you're low, you're okay, but most chances you're going to be high.
That's the same thing with geese. It's funny, you'll chase wounded geese across the field, and people will go out there and they'll fire their 3 shots, and the goose is still sitting there looking at you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aim where that neck touches the body, and you'll clean them every time.
That's right.
Oh, it's crazy.
Yeah.
That's one thing I wondered why a lot of states or maybe provinces too don't do the evening hunt is because you could go and just set up under the roosting trees.
Yeah.
Probably.
I think that's probably one of the biggest reasons because
because they don't want to move. They don't want the turkeys to change roosts all the time.
Well, yeah, because our turkeys travel around, but they'll stay in an area for a few days. And like I found a turkey roost there, and it was. Now that I think about it, it's a stand of big pine trees.
Yeah,
it actually is, and there was turkey shit everywhere under those trees, like frickin' polluted.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you just sat under there in the evening, you'd get a bird for sure.
Yeah.
So maybe that's one of the reasons they do it too, just to eliminate that.
Yeah. I don't like hunting in the evening. I prefer the morning and go till noon. And even, mid-afternoon, I've had a lot of fun mid-afternoon hunts, but even setting up under the roost.
Well, I can tell you from my experience, the best time to kill turkeys is between 10 a.m. and noon.
Yeah, you had told me that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's everybody wants to be out there in the dark in the morning, set up and listen to them, off the roast, and it's awesome. But it wears on you after a few days. But if you, sleep in, have a coffee, have breakfast, and go out at 9:30, 10 o'clock, and if you can get him to gobble, if he was with a hen and she left him to go back and lay an egg or whatever and sit in her nest, and he's alone, they're easy to kill between 10 and noon.
That makes sense.
That's what I found.
Yeah,
that's how I got.
I remember you telling me
that's
that.
how I got my first one, Terry. The roost didn't go right because down there in Maine, they're smart. They know the patterns, and so they would do the same thing every day, but a little bit different, and you were always in the wrong spot, and they wouldn't want to come to you. So, you thought you were doing the right thing, set up on the roost, they do their own thing. So I went out and I heard gobbles in the woods, and it was about 9 o'clock probably, and they weren't getting any closer, but I didn't feel like I should get any closer, so I just sat down, took a nap, listened to them do their thing, and then about 10:30, I just tried another little call, heard the gobble right back, and then 5 minutes later, I heard another gobble that was closer, and another gobble that was closer, and then he got done his deal with the hen, and
less is definitely more with them.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep them curious.
Yeah, I agree.
That overcalling gets a lot of people.
Yep. Yeah, because they want to come.
Yeah,
they don't want to come to you. They want you to come.
It's not just turkeys; it's moose or anything else.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
You overcall, and
you can blow them right out that way.
But then you can watch a video online of fucking hen be sitting there just cutting like You wouldn't believe her lungs could be that full of air to cut that much.
I know.
Doesn't make sense. Or you'll watch a video of some jabroni out there just doing the craziest thing, and great big Tom strut straight in or whatever, and like, frick.
Yeah.
That's one thing, man, about hunting. There is no guarantee.
No, that's why it's called hunting.
Exactly. What works 100% of the time for one guy might work 0% of the time for someone else.
That's right.
Yeah.
You never know.
That's the fun of it.
You learn something new every time you go out.
Well, if you don't learn, then
you're
not doing it right.
Yeah, exactly. You just go out there and try everything you got, throw the gamut at them, and go from there. It's
sometimes the funniest things work, like
I'll tell you,
the Jake gobble.
Yeah. And I do the shittiest Jake gobble. That's how I got on it. I saw it on a on YouTube video, and it was like what in the name of
tarnation? Like the shittier the Jake gobble, the better it works.
Yeah, and it worked well for me.
Yeah.
That's what I like about the hunting public. I'm sure a lot of people watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I follow their turkey tour, their deer tour, their elk tour, everything. But
those guys are living the dream.
They
100%.
They're very, very optimistic. Even if they have a shitty morning, they're always telling you the positive outlook on it.
Yeah.
They see hunters in the morning. They're talking about their experiences, and they're not getting all defensive about stuff and sharing their information. And
it's funny, you watch some of the stuff that they do, and you're thinking, wow, they're actually going to try that, and then it works.
And it works. Yeah.
And it's like,
they're very out of the box thinkers.
Oh, yeah.
And
it's entertaining.
It's entertaining, but a lot of people now are catching on to it. I see a lot of other shows. They're kind of doing the same thing, the run and gun, and they've certainly made a name for themselves, and they're very entertaining, and they do very good filming.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you can learn a lot of shit about turkeys from them guys.
Yeah.
It's quite entertaining.
Yeah.
It is for sure.
I think that's what I like about the guiding so much. Last year I clicked the wrong things. I forgot how to do the thing, and I thought I got my license, and I was kind of let down a little bit. Like, I was excited, but I was like, like hunting for myself is one thing, but it's guiding people's a lot more fun.
It's right there, yeah.
And you get, like, if you hunt for 6 days, you get 6 days of 6 years worth of turkey hunting in one week or whatever.
Because
you learn so much more.
I went with Matt just for 1 day last year, but man, what a hunt! Like we were racking our brains, and then like his first set there that didn't work at all, and then it was like, and then we just went into let's just hunt them like spot and stalk, like no decoy, no calling. Let's just try to sneak up on these bastards and kill them, and man, it worked, and that was super fun. Like. Yeah. Just a different way to do it. And when he got it, like to be that, I mean, it was extra exciting because, I mean, we failed miserably at first, but we learned. And just like, it was a big learning experience for me on that one. Like, man, you cannot be not covered up with those things. Like,
no, that's right.
You got to be hiding behind some, like mesh or camo of some sort. Like, their eyes are unbelievably good. They're as good as everybody says they are.
Yeah.
And that's the first time I've actually seen it, because it was, I mean, the first couple hunts with Lori and I mean, it was just like textbook easy.
Yeah.
But didn't really learn anything.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun. I'm excited.
They're a lot of fun as a challenge. I think Terry told me when I first started, if they'd smelled, you would never kill one.
Yeah. If they had a nose like a deer, you'd never shoot a turkey.
No.
100%.
Well, what you'll see, what you guys will start seeing up in New Brunswick, I see it down the States, is that you're going to start seeing the deer and the turkeys hanging out together. And when the deer's coming through the woods, and I'll see it when I'm down in the States a lot, and okay, here comes a deer, here comes 2 big toms with them, following them, and all of a sudden the deer cuts your wind, and the deer will blow, them turkeys are gone.
Yeah.
As soon as she blows or he blows, them turkeys are gone running, and vice versa. Yeah. You'll watch the deer coming, and the turkeys got eyesight that's incredible. Yeah. He'll putt, that deer will lock right up. And it's they're getting used to surviving with each other, and they're helping each other survive, right? Yeah. So that's a whole new ball game, and you're going to start seeing that in New Brunswick. You'll see it with you might not see it with turkeys and bears, but you'll see it with turkeys and deer.
No doubt about it.
Well, they like the same habitat too. So
yeah.
They're in the same place.
And they like the same habitat, and the boys are telling me down in Maine they were in a spot, and I don't know if they were deer hunting or turkey. I think they were deer hunting, and the turkeys would come out of the roost and they walk over to these apple trees in the orchard. They get up in trees and start knocking all the crab apples off down on the ground, and the deer were there eating.
Yeah,
really.
It was like it was like the deer knew that when the turkeys got in the apple trees that, hey, we're going to get a chance to eat some of these apples.
Yeah, I suppose you take one of those big fat birds up there rattling the branches.
That's right.
Makes sense.
Yep.
They're so friggin' funny.
Yep.
They are.
Really neat birds. Excellent.
Yeah, they're neat to watch. Neat to watch and neat to study and just, you guys practicing your calling yet, or you're all ready?
No, I can't say I've really been practicing, but I'll pick up the calls once in a while, just when I'm walking by.
It's no different than the goose call. A person should put way more time into it than they do.
Yeah.
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 But
Yeah.
I usually this time of year I've got the calls in my truck and I just drive around and.
I think it's one of those things, though. I mean, obviously, turkey season's brand new, and they're still probably quite easy to kill compared to other places. But as it gets harder, I think we're going to have to up our game to match theirs.
Yeah.
So you're not going to be able to fool them with shitty calling.
No. And they're going to get used to decoys because everybody's using decoys.
Yep. You're going to have to get nicer decoys or something.
Or even no decoys.
Or no decoys.
We were hunting in Maine one time and we went out and we had a decoy and the toms came through going right where we thought they were going to go. He saw the decoy. He stopped. He started to strut. We were calling the rest of the turkeys he was with, started heading to the field, and he was kind of like, he could see our decoy and he's like, well, are you coming or aren't you? And the decoy was blowing with the wind. And then, every time it would blow facing away from him, I could, do a few soft little purrs and stuff and get him to kind of creep my way, and then the wind would turn around and blow the decoy back, so the hen decoy is facing him, and he'd be like, okay, she sees me,
coming.
and he'd turn around and start to strut away, and then I'd have to do whatever I could pull out of the bag to try to get him to come in, and then the wind would turn. He finally, after half an hour of that dance, the kid did get a shot and hammered him, but it's just if I hadn't had that decoy there, I could have made my voice go further off to the left and brought that bird up in front for the kid, but it's just the decoy was there.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing, right?
He thought he had her.
They're calling hens to come to them, not for them to go to the hens. So
yeah.
I don't know.
yeah, I don't know. I regret ever putting a hen decoy out. Personally, I always just throw a Jake out.
I like. Yeah, we had really good luck with a Jake decoy. Holy friggin' that Jake half-ass Jake gobble thing there, man. They were running like Usain Bolt to come kick its ass. They did not like that one bit.
They can see the Jake. They can hear the hen.
Well, for a hen too, I think when he visually sees her, if he's interested, he's strutting.
Yeah.
You know how long it takes fucking turkey to come
That
across
one
the
that
field?
Brad shot. Oh my
I've
word!
never been so sore.
I put that on a time lapse. That bastard took an hour to come down there for a shot.
It took 32 minutes.
Yeah, it was a long time
for him to come 100 yards strutting because we were in a big hurry, right?
Yeah.
And the two decoys I had were in the back of the truck, so I just grabbed one. I'm like, well, let's go, Brad, get your ass in gear. And we went down there, and I pulled it out. It was fucking end decoy. So I set it out there, and he come over the knoll and saw her, and he popped strut, and it took him 35
And I
minutes.
think I put it in time lapse, him strutting his way down there. It was like sped up. It's him 30-something minutes strutting into like a minute. And, like,
and where did we sit? That. We sat on a rock pile.
Yeah.
Brad had to help me up. I felt like I was 85 years old.
Yeah. I feel you on that one. I can't sit on the ground like that. Jeez.
Those rock walls they have down in the States would be
they're pretty
superior to the rock piles around here.
But we make it work.
Like
last year, my cousin had 2 evenings to hunt turkeys. She come down with me the first night. We had 5 jakes come into the decoy. I told her not to shoot the jakes. We had one other experience. 2 toms come in, but they stayed like 80 yards out. They just kind of ran like a perimeter around us, and there was something they didn't like. The next night, we went to a spot, and there was like 30 turkeys in this patch. We looked, and then they saw us. Like, we were like 350 yards from them, and they spotted us. Wow. I was like, well, what are we going to do now? We were way up on a hill, and the turkeys were just below us. So we cut a big loop around the bottom, And I mean, like, it took us 35 or 40 minutes to walk around.
Sir.
And then we sat up on the very bottom corner in the transition between two fields. I'm like, if he can hear us and we can get his attention where he can't see us. So anyway, I dug out my pot call and hit it a few times. Nothing. So I gave it a few minutes, hit it again. Then I heard him gobble way up on the hill. So then I just let him simmer for a little bit, and then I hit him again, and then he was like half the distance. I was oh, interesting.
He's coming.
I said, Karina, you might want to get ready.
Yeah.
I hit one more time, and he was like just over the knoll. He got his head up over that knoll and saw that iridescent colors on that decoy.
Yeah.
And he literally tucked wings, and he ran all the way across the field. And I've never, like, when they blow into strut and then spit, it was like, he was like right over the decoy, just like this, right? I'm like, so I whistled at him, trying to get his head. I'm like, I said, just shoot him.
Yeah.
Boom. And he flipped, and he landed right back on his feet and was looking. She fired again, and he got up and flew away. She must have caught him with a pellet or two, but definitely not fatal.
Wow.
I'm like, that was 14 yards.
Or just scared the hell right out of him. He just jumped, did a backflip.
Oh, man. It's just one of those things. Did like 90% of new hunters do, shot right over him, right?
I'll tell you what, that's one thing that I felt good about when I was hunting with Matt. I knew if a shot came, it wasn't going to be missed.
That's right.
I knew there'd be turkey in the oven.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
There's no question with that guy. There's no question he was going to kill it for sure.
I tell all these new turkey hunters that they never killed a turkey before. I said, I say, see the beard? Yeah, just shoot him right in the beard.
Yeah,
you shoot him in the beard. Right, and if he misses, if he's high by a foot, he takes his head off.
Yeah,
and if he hits him in the beard, we got a dead bird. So it's and that's what's important.
And if you shoot the legs off him, he can't run.
I am gonna mention Brad Cronkite here. Because Brad had a tough go on our first. We had two toms run across the field to the decoy, and once they get into the decoy, they got a little nervous because while we were starting to move around a little bit, they started putting. Yeah. I'm like, "Are you gonna shoot or?" Anyway, he fired, and I watched the wad. I know it was 16 inches over that.
He had buck fever so bad.
Man, I have never in all my life seen someone so worked up. Like he lost his shit. He had my Benelli semi-automatic shotgun. I'm like, well, why didn't you fire a second or a third time? He jumped right up after he missed. The birds were still there. He's like, the boys told me this was going to happen. Because they made fun of him for weeks. Yeah. They said, Ryan's going to put a turkey in front of you and you're going to miss it. Yeah. He jumped right up and said
he
that.
He did.
Yeah, the next one he cleaned. But that one there, I still got it on film. I just watched the wad go right over the Tom's head, like 16 inches.
Frig. It's funny, though, man, what it does to you.
I'll tell you the story about the first time I missed a turkey. I went 11 for 11. 11 birds I fired at, I killed. And I said to my buddy, I said, I'm due to miss. So we're in Connecticut, and you can kill 3 birds a day down there. 3 for the season, too. So anyway, long story short, here these birds gobbling. I run up, I get set up, and they're down the trail, and they turn, and they're starting to come back. They're getting closer. And I see them coming. There's 3 jakes coming. I've said, okay, they're at 20 yards. As soon as the heads line up, I'm going to take them, right? I know where to lie. Took the safety off the gun, and the gun was in my lap, on my knee. You know how when you're sitting there against a tree, it's on your knee. It's pointed at the turkeys. And when the turkeys' heads lined up, I pulled the trigger, and I hit 10 feet over them. The gun wasn't even at my shoulder. It was at the stock of the gun was at my waist, and the front of it, the forearm was on my knee. I was all ready, but I forgot to put the gun to my shoulder.
Oh, right. You talked yourself right into that one anyway.
Yeah.
Well, the heads lined up. I was going to shoot like 2 birds, and I never got it. It hit 10 feet over their head.
Well, you're going to shoot the limb over their head and drop it on them.
You're going to really do it hard. Drop a branch on them.
Yeah. So that was that was like 11 for 11 for turkeys, and then that was my first miss.
So does that count as over 3?
Yeah. I missed 3 that day. Yeah. Well, I can tell you, there's only 2 people that don't miss turkeys. That's people that don't hunt them and liars.
Yeah, that's right.
That's for sure. Yeah, it'll happen everywhere.
You're hunting turkeys, you're going to miss them because they're so elusive, and that head can go from 100ths of a second, be right in front of you, and he'll gobble, and that head will go drop down 12 or 14 inches within hundreds of a second.
Yeah, no doubt. I was thinking that might be a good. We might be able to put our old layout blinds to use hunting turkeys. Can you imagine? Set up a freaking turkey decoy and sit in a layout blind and pop up, wing shoot one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yep, they definitely work.
That'd be neat. Yep. I'd pop out just like waterfowl and try to wing shoot one.
Well, and if you had it done right, you're not trying to hide from the birds above, so you could actually sit there and you can see what's going on instead of
have your face mask on.
You can't see anything when you're waterfowl hunting out of a layout blind. There's birds in the air.
Something I do have. If it's someone I don't really know I'm hunting with, like I don't know what they're like, if they move. Some people just constantly move. It's almost like a nervous tick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I got Hunter Specialty makes like a piece of mesh with stakes in it.
Yep.
I just put them.
That's what I used.
And then you can adjust the level of the stakes and everything.
Yep.
And then that way at least they're covered.
I had I don't have adjustable, but I had a mesh and same thing. We just stuck it in the ground. You can just barely look over it and just droop your shotgun right over it. That's how Lori killed her. She was like, it was coming, and I told her just to get ready, put her arm on her knee, and it was laying right on the mesh, and it was just drooped perfectly. They couldn't see anything but her hat, and that was it. He never saw us.
One of those ghost blinds, I would think, would be like A1 for turkey hunting.
Ghost blinds, what's that?
You haven't seen this? Like those panel blinds, and they angle like 15 degrees to the ground, and they're mirrored.
Oh, okay.
Mirrored blinds. I don't know. Yeah.
So you could blend in for whatever you're...
But
stick your shotgun right through the
if they'll walk up to a normal blind, I guess. And
that's true.
I bought one of those 360 ones.
Well, if that's the ones you can see through all the way.
They're freaking cool.
Well, I was just thinking the ghost blind because you can literally fold it up.
Yeah, you can.
Put it on your back. And
those ones. With you. Yeah, you can buy those in a panel too. Like it's a 3-panel, like just the frontwards facing one, but they're angled.
Yeah.
So they don't see anything but the reflection of the ground.
It'd be perfect for running and gunning because if you got into a spot where the birds were and they didn't come your way, then you could just fold up, put the straps over your shoulders, and go set up somewhere else.
Even those pop-up blinds I have, they have that shoot-through mesh there. Like you can't see. Yeah, it's camo mesh.
Just Velcro over the window.
Yeah, just Velcros over the window, so there's no black holes or anything.
Right.
Yeah.
You can see out pretty much perfectly.
Yeah.
Except for low light, but I mean they can't see you one bit, like none. But
and hunting with a blind like that too would kind of keep you in the same spot, because a lot of times, like I don't know how many times I've seen it, but you think if I'll move over here maybe, and then you just go to move and you bust one that was coming in quiet.
Yeah, well that's the thing, right? With these blinds you can shoot all around you, like you can swivel around. The chairs are swivel,
but you got it all set up so it gives you a reason to stay put instead of getting antsy and moving.
And they pop up fairly fast. It's just a big long, like looks like a fold up lawn chair bag, except bigger.
True.
Stand her up, pop it out, pull the sides out, boom, and go in it, and away you go.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm excited. I hope I get the chance to hunt and
that'd be neat.
See what happens
with the recurve.
Instead
of a blind.
I could be the first person to shoot one with a recurve. I don't know if anyone has in the province.
How many shots?
Shoot at one.
Yeah, shoot at one.
That's the thing. Am I ready to miss one yet?
I've heard the word recurve before. I know what that means.
Yeah. Am I sure that I'm willing to miss one?
Yeah.
But maybe when it's open season, there's no draw.
Yeah.
Be the first one to shoot one.
When I'm not limited by time and numbers and draw applications, my next turkey might not be for 5 more years type of deal, and then we'll think about the recurve.
Yeah, that would be cool.
What about are we going to get provincial records like for beards and spurs and stuff like that? Are it going on? I wonder.
CWTF wants to come out with a program, so we can start tracking that and giving an award or giving a pin or something for the bird you get. So that's something that we need to track and start putting into place right across Canada.
Are they in
actually.
Pope and Young or Boone and Crockett turkeys? So. I don't think so.
I don't think. No. I know the NWTF has a scoring system, right? So we'd follow off their scoring system. No, I don't think they are.
But there is record.
Yeah, there are records. They're just not in Boone and Crockett or Pope and Young.
Because there were some big turkeys killed here the first year. There was one girl killed one. Geez, it was 25 or 26 pounds.
Yeah.
I think
our birds are friggin' healthy because I think ours were 2.5-year-old. Would it be 2.5-year-olds?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were like 3/4-inch spurs and I don't know, 8-inch beards or so. But geez, they both weighed over 20 pounds. They're like 21, 22 pounds.
Yeah.
That's
for a friggin' 2.5-year-old bird. That's not bad.
That's yeah, 21, 22 is.
What would it be if it was 4 or 4 years old or 5?
The one I killed in New Jersey was 23.
Yeah, you shot a big one there.
Yeah.
They don't really go over 25 pounds
No.
in the wild, I don't think.
Not unless they're little farm blood in them.
I seen one time in Connecticut. And the guy's a professional caller, Cabela's guy, and he had a 28.5 and a 25.5 pound bird together. We went over to see them, and that 28.5 pounder, it made the other one look like a Jake.
Well, I think one of the records in North America is from Ontario.
Really?
A woman killed it. I seen it. I think it was 30 pounds. Was it?
Oh, yeah.
It'd have to be
huge.
It's probably like our deer. They got to be a hardy bird to survive our winters. Like they got to pack on the feed. So,
well, you get around a grain silo all winter that's leaking grain. You can eat pretty good.
Yeah, you can.
It's probably no different than geese though, too. Like there's quite a variation in the size of.
Oh yeah, that's
geese.
Right. Lots of subspecies.
I think the biggest one we ever put on the scales around almost 14 pounds. It was high 13s.
Yeah.
Legitimately weighed. I mean, guys claim to shoot 20-pound friggin' geese all the time. Like, no, that's a swan. Like, they don't realize how big a 12, 13-pound goose is. It's huge.
Yeah.
It's gigantic.
Yeah.
Massive bird. But no, it's exciting, boys. We're getting close.
Yeah, it is exciting.
Anyone else got anything to add? I said this probably about an hour ago.
It's one of those things, the deeper you get into it, the more there is to say.
Well, you just think of the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. Next thing you know, you're an hour and 46 minutes in.
Yeah.
No, that's been a good talk, guys. I don't have anything to add if you guys don't.
No, I'm excited for the season. See what it's going to bring.
Yep. Well, I'll have to stay in touch and
for sure
get things rolling.
Definitely. I just want to thank you guys for inviting me to this podcast. It's awesome, and too bad Matt wasn't on with us. Maybe the next time we can get him on as well. So
yeah, and I mean, typically we'd reschedule, but I mean, we're getting right on the busy season here, and it just we canceled once, so next week I'll be sick, so we figured we'd just get it out there and get it done. But
this has been great.
Yep, good talking to you, boys.
You too.
Take her easy.
Okay, guys. Good luck in the draw there next week. So, hope you guys all draw tags.
Yeah, thanks.
Terry. Just stay on the line there, Terry. I'm just going to stop recording.
Hope to see you up here.
Yeah, for sure.
I'll be up.